How did one man, born in the harsh Mongolian steppes, rise to conquer nearly half the known world? A leader with no royal blood, no formal education. Yet he forged an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. His name? Genghis Khan. But how did he do it? How did he unite warring tribes that had fought each other for centuries? What brutal tactics made the Mongols the most feared warriors in history? And what was the secret behind their rapid expansion? A military force that crushed empires 10 times their size. Before the Mongol Empire, the Central Asian steppes were a land of chaos and bloodshed. Nomadic clans roamed the vast grasslands, constantly at war over land, horses, and honor. No tribe could ever dominate the others for long. That changed when one man emerged, not just as a warrior, but as a visionary. Genghis Khan's rise was no accident. He rewrote the rules of power, built an army like no other, and turned a divided land into an unstoppable war machine. This is the true story of how he conquered the world. And it all starts in the heart of the Mongolian steppes. The invasion of China, the first great conquest. When Genghis Khan turned his sights on China, many believed the Mongols stood no chance. The Xia and Jin dynasties were powerful, wealthy, and protected by massive fortresses and the Great Wall. But Genghis Khan saw obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities to adapt and destroy. The Mongols were masters of cavalry warfare, but against China's heavily fortified cities, their traditional hit-and-run tactics wouldn't be enough. Instead of backing down, Genghis Khan did something unheard of. He captured enemy engineers and forced them to build the very weapons that would bring China to its knees. Under Mongol command, they developed massive catapults, siege towers, and battering rams, tools never before used by the steppe warriors. One by one, Mongol forces crushed the Western Xia dynasty, forcing them into submission. But the real prize was the Jin dynasty, rulers of northern China. The Mongols broke through the Great Wall's defenses, proving that not even China's greatest fortifications could stop them. Once inside, they unleashed a level of destruction never seen before. Entire cities were burned to the ground, and tens of thousands were slaughtered as a warning. The Mongols made sure survivors spread the news. Resisting Genghis Khan meant total annihilation. By the end of the campaign, the Mongols had completely shattered the myth of Chinese invincibility. What was once thought impossible had been accomplished. A nomadic empire had defeated one of the most powerful civilizations on Earth. And this was just the beginning. The fall of Persia, the Mongols versus the Islamic world. In 1218, Genghis Khan sent a trade caravan to the Khwarezmian Empire, a powerful Persian dynasty controlling modern-day Iran and Central Asia. It was meant to be a peaceful gesture, but what happened next sealed the fate of an entire civilization. The governor of Otrar, suspicious of Mongol intentions, seized the caravan and executed its merchants. When Genghis Khan demanded justice, the Shah of Khwarezm arrogantly dismissed him and even killed his envoys. That was a fatal mistake. What followed was one of the most brutal retaliations in history. The Mongols invaded with overwhelming force, razing Khwarezmian cities to the ground. Bukhara, Samarkand, and Urgench, once thriving centers of culture, became mass graveyards. Mongol warriors drowned entire populations in blood, slaughtering men, women, and children alike. Some reports claim over 1 million people were killed in this campaign alone. But it wasn't just brute force that made the Mongols unstoppable. It was their ability to learn from their enemies. Genghis Khan didn't just destroy Persian engineers. He recruited them, using their knowledge to improve Mongol siege warfare, city planning, and even administration. The fear spread faster than the Mongols themselves. Rumors of their merciless destruction reached as far as Egypt and Europe. Cities surrendered without a fight, terrified of the fate that awaited them if they resisted. By the time the war ended, Khwarezm no longer existed. Its culture, cities, and people were wiped off the map. The Mongols had rewritten the rules of war, proving that defying Genghis Khan meant total annihilation. And yet, this was only the beginning of the Mongol advance into the Islamic world. Europe's nightmare. The Mongol horde reaches the west. By the 1230s, the Mongol war machine had already devastated China and Persia. Now, it turned west, toward Russia and Eastern Europe. The Mongol invasion wasn't just another war. It was a storm of destruction, unlike anything Europe had ever seen. The first to fall were the Russian principalities. The Mongols, led by Subutai and Batu Khan, obliterated entire cities, reducing them to ashes. Kiev, once a great center of Slavic civilization, was leveled to the ground. Those who resisted were met with ruthless efficiency, either executed or enslaved. Then came the infamous Battle of Khalkha River, 1223. The Mongols lured a massive Russian force into a trap, feigned retreat, and encircled them completely. What followed was a massacre. Thousands of Russian and Kipchak warriors were either slaughtered on the battlefield or taken captive. The Mongols, in a final act of humiliation, crushed their noble prisoners alive under wooden planks, using them as a gruesome stage for their victory feast. With Russia in ruins, the Mongols advanced into Poland, Hungary, and the Balkans. They crushed European knights, outmaneuvering heavily armored cavalry with their superior speed and tactics. Entire towns were set ablaze, and the Mongol terror spread across the continent like wildfire. Then, suddenly, they stopped. Just as the Mongols approached the heart of Western Europe, Batu Khan turned back. Why? The reason was simple. Genghis Khan's successor, Ögedei Khan, had died. Mongol custom required all high-ranking leaders to return to Mongolia to elect a new great Khan. With Batu's campaign cut short, Europe was spared, by sheer luck. This was not just war. It was the nightmare of an empire that had no equal. Genghis Khan's conquests were brutal. But did he really wipe out 40 million people? Was it sheer destruction or strategic warfare? The truth is more shocking than you think. Don't miss our deep dive into the real death toll of the Mongol Empire. Click now to uncover history's darkest numbers.